Hello there gang, DD DeVere here with another Past Blast. We should be playing a little bit of the Eradicator! Published back in 1996 by Accolade Software, is of course an FPS with some technical interests. So multiplayer is pretty much dead, but something that's quite rare for the time. Options. We've got different screen settings, but most importantly, some fairly good control settings. You can actually have mouse look enabled in game automatically, and even more so, configurable controls. So you can quite easily make this control like a modern shooter if you're used to that, which is always nice. And it also means you don't have to mess around with the DOSBox mapper. This is of course a DOSBox emulated game, as many of them are, but now you can do it actually directly in game. So there's a lot of different technological advancements in this game. So let's dive on with a new game. There's not much else in the way of graphical options, so I'll just play with difficulty. So here's one of the areas the game sort of tried to differentiate itself. You have three different characters. You have Kamchak, the Trayoan warrior. As you see, he's got different strengths down the bottom there, as well as they've all got different weapons. He has the photon bolt. We've got Elena, the mercenary cat lady, who has the Ripper disc. And then finally Dan Blaze, a cybernetic mining engineer, and his primary weapon is the Strident laser. So come on gang, let's climb the D squash ladder one rung at a time. And today, the Eradicator will be our rung. So that's the thing, each one starts with their own little level, their own little introductory couple of levels. But after that, the rest of the game takes place as pretty much as it is.
The clan of Tradan shall be made proud today.
Good show, you know they will. There's also a fair bit of destruction available in the game. Just to hold back on wasting too much ammunition early game. This will be about the only time you need to worry about it though. Oh, that side. So there's the first issue with the game, is the audio locators are really bizarre. It always sounds like everything's kind of behind you or off to the side of where they actually are. There's a very limited amount of auto aim. One thing you'll notice is that most of the weapons are actual projectile based. Now here's one problem. That's our maximum up. That's our maximum look. So let's just open the door. It does make things a little bit pernickety at moments like this, trying to get in and out of a... Ah, good, we got him. And of course, being old school, there are secrets to find, which we shall find some of them in just a moment. There's also more of a mission-based, objective-based game you normally get in these kind of games. It's not so much running around finding key cards. Ah, there's the shotgun. Ah, there's one of them. So there's the technological side. It's quite a bit. We'll see the pips, the picture-in-picture in a moment. I have no doubt about that. That's where we came from.
Much has been abandoned here.
Indeed, much has been abandoned here. Oh, I know. I think I'm pretty sure there's another secret over here somewhere. Ah, there we go. And of course, you have your in-game map. So yeah, this is still technologically wise. There's also the... What, did I not press the button? Ah! I did not press the button. That explains a fair bit. There are, other than the sound locators, unfortunately there are a few other problems with the game. The first is the floaty controls. There's very feeling like you're jumping around on ice. Unfortunately, oh, that was the pip thing there, briefly flashed up. But not to worry, we'll see that soon enough again. This is nearly the end of the level. So yes, floaty controls are definitely part of the problem. There's also something kind of weird. I can't explain it with the mouse. It just feels slightly off, like there's some sort of, it's not quite precise. It's hard to explain. By the way, F11 lets you scroll through the different levels of gamma in the game.
A tunnel into the citadel.
Well, let's take the tunnel. And a little recap of your mission. So not too bad. 3 or 3 secrets. So that's now on to the next part. Yeah, the floaty controls and the weird kind of shooting's not. It's kind of let it down because, of course, the other big problem really is this game was released in 1996. Kind of faded from view, in all honesty, because of course it was released around the same time as Duke Nukem and Quake. You know, of course, Quake with its full 3D and its wonderfully tight, precise controls. I'll worry about getting those things later, didn't you? Ah, excellent. We picked up a little buddy. He gives some extra firepower. So there's stuff you can pick up for the that you use automatically like this. There's other stuff that you pick up now to your inventory, telling you to use whenever you want to use it. Oops, there's sloppy shooting there. What else is around here? Now, of course, Quake was really tight, precise controls, tight, precise shooting, as indeed was Duke Nukem. So yeah, the game kind of vanished into cult territory, really, despite all the technological advances it was trying to bring. Unfortunately, the downside is that there's at least not I've now found
shaft might go past their defenses.
There's no source port for this game that I've been able to find. Unfortunately, so that does mean let's try to shot it out. I think the shotgun's about the only hit scan weapon in the game, which is yeah. So it does mean that what you see is what you get. There's no high-res texture packs, no modern resolutions, which is unfortunate, really. I want to pick up a full health recharge at this point. Oh, and that jumping. Oh, one of the other interesting things is not only first person, but it's also a third person shooter, which you think would make the jumping easier. It doesn't really. Now we've got the weapon upgrade as well, so that's quite good. So yeah, it is definitely showing its age. If you've seen any of some of the other old past blasts on my channel, you know, you can see what the source ports and that do for these games. Makes them quite, well, not quite modern. That's probably a strong word, but it definitely gives them definitely gives them quite an upgrade. Oh, did I destroy that? I destroyed that barrel. Oh no, I didn't. There we are. These barrels do blow up, but you can use them to jump on to get into the secrets and the hidden areas. So yeah, the fact it was somebody was keen to see me there. Oh, I bet he's in here. And then there's... Oh, I just managed to move myself right into the... Yeah, it's... the problem, the next problem is with the weapons. Now, the individual weapons you get, they're not really any... Lena's weapon, Ripidus, doesn't feel any different from this, in all honesty. Of course, we have the old classic shooters. A lot of the thing was like... Ammo management was very important. games like Doom and Quake, you had to sort of switch around a lot of your weapons. It made switching the secrets out quite very much worth it. But here, for this game, for the most part, there's very little reason. You'll be able to go through about 85% of the game with just your standard weapon here, because the mob enemies drop your standard ammunition and your shotgun, and that will cover a great amount of your gameplay time, to be honest with you. So which is a shame, because there's 15 weapons in total. There's some quite interesting weapons in there. Like if I pick that mine up here, this is a quick way to see the pips in action. If I drop it and hit the use button, I'm now in control of the mine. So you can wait and time it till the enemies come by, and then boom. And of course, there's also more exotic uses for it later on, of course. Probably didn't get very many secrets on that level. 1 of 6. But again, it's not like in Doom where that would be a big problem. It is kind of... So yeah, it's just, in all honesty... Is this one? That's just a security. See here, we got now security cameras we can scroll through. Well, this one isn't. This is a singular one. You can also take control of other things with it.
With that computer decimated, I gain a greater advantage.
There we go. See here, now I'm controlling that and those little spy things. It isn't a weapon, unfortunately, but so yeah, it tries to do a lot technologically, and the fact that you've got a decent amount of options inside the game for controls and things. That's all good. So there, it always sounds like the enemy's just behind you somewhere, even when they're right in front of you, because of the sound issues. So yeah, it's a bit of a... It's definitely one of those ones. It's not it's not a bad game, not by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of it here, of course, quite big sprawling levels. It's just a bit of an oddball mix, in all honesty. Just want to tell you as to which way I'm going now. This way, this is it. Don't let those little things get close to you. They blow up and do masses of damage into you. Oh, that limited... Ouch. Something hit me out there. Oh, hello, where did you guys champs come from? This is... Oh, there's one there. That's... I want to try and... There, that blew up. Well, that's what it is. It's that gun turret. So yeah, with the kind of weird, kind of slightly laggy mouse thing going on. We've got some partial health. Luckily, there's a full health over there somewhere. I'll worry about him later. I'll go get some of this dealt with first. The floaty controls just kind of leaves it all in all a bit of an average experience, in all honesty, compared to a lot of the other games. Is he still trying to take shots at me? I'll deal with him soon enough. Oh, I like this health up. Well, if I get that far to collect it. Luckily, there's a full health restore just up on that shelf. Well, that ledge, I should say. Let's grab some ammunition. Yeah, compared to other games of the period that are available, it does leave this as a bit of an average experience. Not terrible. Let's see. Make sure I'm trying to get the jumping right. Now, which way would be the best? Oh, I've got that thing over there. Because that is quite useful. Invulnerability. Oh, always a good thing we're having a shooter, of course. But yeah, it's just the technological side, the interesting weapons. They all definitely add to the. They all add to the game. Oh, so sure to be something around the corner there. It's a shooter coming firing. Oh, there you go. There's one of them. Not particularly matters as I've got the invulnerability on at the moment. Well, I had on the invulnerability. It's just run out just as they started hitting me. Great. Spray and pray there. So yeah, it's just a shame that this never got a source port to its name. That would have definitely so to give it at least support for modern resolutions and things like that. Security cameras are a nice little touch. Oh, I was going to try and get over to. It's also the characters. They don't really honestly feel any different, apart from, like, for example, Alina. I mean, it is because of the floaty controls, which you, in fairness, you can toggle your sprint on and off. But that's about the only real difference, is Alina's speed. It doesn't feel any different in the way of combat or anything like that. The characters are definitely very sort of samey. That was the missile launcher. Ah, right. Oh, did I pick up the... I didn't pick up the boots. Is it over here? I've forgotten which way... Oh. That was that. This. Come out, let me see you. Right, let's try shooting that since to see if that makes a difference. Oh, I'll just go back and get the boots. Well, we'll probably conclude our dealings here anyway, gang. I'll try and find the boots to show you them. It's it is quite a easy to become disorientated on these levels. Like that. No, we've got that charger still on that side, right? So yeah, it's not a bad game. I think it's fair to say it's certainly not terrible, but definitely a missed opportunity in some ways. It did lead it to sort of becoming sort of a sort of very that's why I haven't destroyed that.
My path is made clear.
No, he was shooting at me just then. Or was that just was that just damage off the splash damage? I think. Yeah, compared to, it was very bad time for it to release. Really, in all honesty, I mean, Quake and Duke Nukem as your main competitors. They were the big hits at the time. Right, let's use the boots. Bracket keys to. Enter to go through. Oops, that was a bit. Let's get the old shotgun going. Oh, I didn't. It's just a pity you don't get more shotgun ammo, really. Of course, this is a time when, of course, shotguns were always amazing. Not like modern shotguns today that are always a bit naff and a bit forgettable. That was that little spy thing we had earlier on when we was floating around in. That was it there. So some enemies over there. But yeah, the fact there's also no source port for these games, so bit of a shame that. But again, that's part of that is just because of the fact it didn't. Oh, hello, somebody picked up some friends. Because it never hit the same sort of astronomical heights of games like Doom. It just became a bit more of a cult.
One more conduit remains.
Force fields deactivated. Well, that's always good. Oh! Right, which way do we need to go? So we'll probably conclude our dealings around about here anyway, gang. Whoops. Check for those explosive chappies. Let's show you some of the other weapons quickly before we finish. Oh, don't want to waste it on something like that. Where's the, like a machine gun. So there's not really a great amount of difference between your machine gun and your actual main, your main standard weapon. So there was definitely some missed opportunities on that front. That was my fault. I got myself caught on the corner there. That's odd. Did I not unlock that one? Is that not the one? Well, it doesn't really matter. But so yeah, we'll conclude our dealings here, gang. This was the Eradicator. It's a competent, quite impressive technically. What it brings to the table and everything. It's just let down by some little silly bits of sloppiness, like the floaty feelings and the certain lack of there's a right, where are you there? Oh, well, he's still going. I thought the rocket would have wrecked him. Ah, there we go, another secret area. Yeah, said plenty of secrets to find. Yeah, all in all, a competent, decent game. It's certainly not a bad game, but just not quite as good as the competition that was available at the time, in all honesty. But it brings a lot technically. The fact you've got the proper actual mouse control, even if it is a bit, I don't know, it's not like mouse lag. It just doesn't feel quite right. I can't explain it other than more than that. Fully rebindable controls, so you don't need to mess around with DOSBox. And a lot of gamers, as was the way in these days. So anyway, gang, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. Hope you found it useful and entertaining in some way. And as ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to make me alive. I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.